All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi's Stadium on a Friday for the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. We'll do a full recap after Kyle Shanahan speaks to us at the tail end of practice, but definitely an update. Just was on the practice field. There was no Trent Williams. There was no sign of Nick Bosa, and there was no sign of Brock Purdy. So I think it's a pretty good indication right there that you're not going to see Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, or Brock Purdy Sunday at Lambeau against the Packers. Now, obviously, this is a huge development for the 49ers. What does it mean? All right, well, no Trent Williams means that Jalen Moore is likely going to start at left tackle for the Niners. So get ready for Jalen Moore to start at left tackle. The good news and the bad news is obviously you're going to miss the best left tackle in the game in Trent Williams. That's the bad news. The good news is that Jalen Moore is a veteran. He's done it before. He's not a rookie. He's not a guy that's not familiar to playing. He's played a lot of football. So Jalen Moore most likely is going to start at left tackle. I talked to him in the locker room just yesterday, and he's ready. He's ready to roll. Is he going to be Trent Williams? No. Is he going to be a solid run blocker? I think the answer to that is yes. So expect Jalen Moore to play and play well at left tackle. As far as Nick Bosa, man, the 49ers have not gotten it done in the fourth quarter rushing the passer with or without Nick Bosa this year, and that's just a fact. Nick Bosa barely has any pressures in the fourth quarter, barely has any sacks, I should say, in the fourth quarter. The 49ers as a team in their losses are really not sacking the quarterback at all in the fourth quarter. So, but this is a huge loss because you guys all saw what happened last week when Nick Bosa went out of the game. With Bosa, the Niners have a representative rush. Without Bosa, they really do not. And I would imagine that Leonard Floyd and Yatir Gross-Matos will start. But, all games, all the defensive linemen play. And so now you're one man thinner and you just lost your best guy. It means that Robert Beal's going to have to play well in the snaps that he plays. It may mean that Jonathan Garvin gets elevated from the practice squad to go up against his former team, the Green Bay Packers. It's a huge loss. It's a huge loss. Winning this game, a big part of winning this game is going to be about the 49ers' ability to get Jordan Love on the ground and to force him into a couple mistakes. So that is a huge one right there for the 49ers to not have Nick Bosa. And it's just going to take a collective effort. Now, this really does impact the game quite a bit. How does Nick Sorensen call the game differently without Nick Bosa? That's, to me, one of the biggest subplots of this game is exactly what kind of game does Sorensen call. He's probably going to be forced to blitz a lot more often. The Niners do not blitz. They blitz 13% of the time. It's one of the lowest blitz rates in the entire league. But that's with Nick Bosa. That means that your front four is getting the job done by themselves. I don't think they can bank on that in this game, and you can't sit back and just get bled to death slowly by Jordan Love and the Packers offense because you can't put any heat on the quarterback. So they're going to have to manufacture some heat, and we're going to find out what Nick Sorensen is about, what kind of stunting games they can play up front to free up their guys, what kind of blitz packages and exotics he can throw at Jordan Love to try to confuse him, speed him up, impact the quarterback in some way, shape, or form. So to me, this is the biggest part of the game on Sunday. Without Nick Bosa, what does Nick Sorensen do to dial up pressures, linebacker blitzes, corner blitzes, safety blitzes, stunting games, all kinds of action and movement up front? I think you're going to see all of it. You're going to see the 49ers bring the kitchen sink. I think you're going to see them. They're going to blitz. They're going to blitz linebackers. They're going to blitz corners. They're going to blitz safeties. They're going to send extra pressure. There's no question. They can't sit back and just allow themselves to get picked apart by Green Bay. And, of course, the biggest news of the day is that Brock Purdy was nowhere to be found on the practice field. So we'll get the official word from Shanahan here after practice around 1:45 or so. But, no Brock Purdy on the practice field probably means Brock's not going to go. He didn't throw on Wednesday. He attempted to throw on Thursday and then quickly had to take himself off the field because he had pain in the shoulder. We saw the trainers rubbing him down. Shanahan made it seem like it was no big deal and like they would quickly, he'd be able to be ready by Sunday. Lynch said they're going to try to get him ready, but if you don't practice at all in the NFL, odds are you're not going to play. Brandon Allen's probably going to start this game, and it's scary because the 49ers need to win. 49ers absolutely have to get a win here against Green Bay, and they're going to be starting their backup quarterback. It's just a tall ask. It really is. I would expect a run-heavy game plan, 65-35 run pass. The 49ers have not been able to run the football. But, if there's one thing you can point at that's probably encouraging in this game is that last week in Chicago, the Bears ran for 5-3 a carry against the same Green Bay defense. And they did it with runners that probably aren't as good as the running backs the Niners have. So, the Niners have to be able to block it up front. They got to be able to run in this game. If they can't run the ball, they're going to lose this game. If they can run the ball and Brandon Allen can take care of the football, and they can get a turnover or two, they can hang in this game. But they're going to need all those things to happen. Without Nick Bosa, they're going to have a creative rush plan, and they're going to have to get home and get Jordan Love on the ground. Without Trent Williams, Jalen Moore is going to have to step up, and they're probably going to have to run the ball a whole lot more and try to take pressure in pass protection off of Moore. And without Brock Purdy, Brandon Allen's going to have to step into the moment and play well. He can't turn it over. He's got to make sure that he takes care of the football. The 49ers will not win this game on Sunday if they're -1 or -2 in turnovers. It's just not going to happen. They're going to have to be +1 or +2 in turnovers to get this W. But that's the latest from Santa Clara. We'll have more after Kyle Shanahan speaks to us after practice. But that's the latest update. No Trent Williams, no Nick Bosa, no Brock Purdy at practice. George Kittle was at practice and playing well, moving well. Expect him to have a significant role in this game on Sunday, but I would doubt that you're going to see Purdy, Bosa, or Trent. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.